New Bleach is out. Let's watch it. Let's read it. I mean, because we can't watch. Well, we can watch it with our eyes, but let's read it. Let's read it. Let's get into it. Ishin was saying, let's talk about how your mom really died, because there was more to it than what we told you. Grand Fisher played a part, but it wasn't all that, you know. It left a couple questions. I'm still a little confused. Right, so it shows, the first panel shows an image of her just knocked out. But I'm looking at it now and I did not notice it before. She's laying over Ichigo's body. So that explains how she died. She protected him. That's cool. So she's laying over his body, and I guess she died to protect him. Which, I think that was always the story, but she chose to, she died to protect him, basically. And he's like, look, your mom wasn't supposed to die. She has an ability called Bleach, because she's a Quincy, and full-blooded, natural-born Quincy's are born with Bleach. It makes the skin hard, makes them hard to break, hard to injure. And he's saying, look, she's a pureblood, and that's the reason why she didn't really sustain any big injury. Ishin brings up Uryu's mother. He's like, have you ever heard of anything about Uryu's mom? And of course Ichigo doesn't. He hasn't heard anything about it because his friend's a tight ass. Friend slash cousin, I guess now, is a bit of a tight ass, and he didn't talk about it. But his mother, Uryu's mother, was called Katagiri. Now we all know that Katagiri was the handmaiden, servant woman, or whatever you want to call it, to Uryu's family. But what we didn't know is she was a half-blood Quincy, which means her blood was impure, which means somebody fucked a normal person, and she's the result of that. He says that she collapsed on June 17th, 9 years ago, and passed away 3 months later. I suspect that June 17th, 9 years ago, is the same day that Ichigo's mother died, because there's some sort of connection there. Now Ichigo's like, what? That's clearly, he's like, what? That's the same fucking day. How? What happened 9 years ago? And the answer to that question is Asherin. Oh yeah, me neither. I don't know what the fuck that means either, but we're gonna find out. Asherin. It was a holy selection of Quincy to be carried out by Yahweh. I don't know what that means, but I can tell you what happened. First of all, there was a crazy king. A king of the Quincy. He was sealed away. The story goes, it took 900 years for him to regain his heartbeat. Now, me personally, my heart beats once every 3 months, but to take 900 years for a heartbeat is a long time. Okay, that's a really long time. It took him 90 years to regain his reason, so he was crazy for 9 years. I don't think he really regained his reason yet, because that guy is fucking nuts. 9 more to regain his powers. Now, to get his powers, this is what happened. He chose several Quincy that he felt were impure. Now, I don't know why he picked, well, I know why he picked Masaki, because of whatever the hollow thing is. He thought she was impure because of that reason. So, these people that he found to be impure, he stole their powers. Now, Katagiri powers were stolen while she was probably just lounging around the house, serving her husband or what have you. Masaki was a little less fortunate. When she lost her powers, she was protecting Ichigo from the Grand Fisher. And that resulted in her subsequent and untimely death. She lost her powers, which is why his attack hurt her. Because of the blue vein, she would not have been hurt. but she lost her powers at the wrong time. We also find out that Jubok is the progenitor of the Quincy race. He's the father. He's the first Quincy ever. That means he is a distant ancestor of every Quincy to ever exist, including Uryu and Ichigo, and Masaki and Katagiri and whoever else, and all these weird German name having subordinates he has. After hearing this, Ichigo flashed back to his short-lived and highly embarrassing battle with Jubok, and he remembers the things that he said. After which he says thank you, and he takes off to leave. Where is he going? I'll tell you where he's going. I'm glad you asked. He's going back to the kingdom of the king of Soul Society. He's going back to face that room full of Senpakto. He couldn't defeat them before because he didn't know himself. He wasn't true to himself. He didn't know who he was, where he came from, anything. Now he knows the origin stories to his family. He can go back and he can be ready and he can fight. He'll have that inner peace or inner knowledge that he needed to survive. He's going back to continue his training, to finish his training, to become something more than he is now. What will he become? I don't know. No idea, but we'll see. He's going to leave, and as he's leaving, his old boss shows up. You know, the cute one with the knockers. She shows up, and she's like, "Oh, you left this last time you were at my house." And she gives him back his substitute Shinigami badge. And he's like, "Oh, thank you," and runs right past it and goes back. So then we show the last panel basically is Jubok in his throne room, and his subordinate comes in and he's showing somebody else into the room. And you're like, well, okay, whatever. Then Jubok's like, "Welcome, come join your brothers in battle, my son." And you look over at his fucking Uryu. What is he doing there? I know he's not there to serve Jubok. Does he know that Jubok is the reason his mother is dead? Does he know that? If he does, then he's definitely there to kill him. Now, if he's there to kill him, then he's going to die very badly. What I think it is he's there to pretend to be one of them so he can get training to get stronger. At least that's what I think. But we won't know until next week. So, basically, there's nothing more to say. There's my review. If you liked it, subscribe, like, comment. If not, you can still watch it because I like when I get more views. Alright, that's it. Peace.